Students, I hope you can see the screen. Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if the screen is visible from your end? Can I get a confirmation from the chat box, students, if you can see the screen from your end, students? Can I quickly get a confirmation from you? Yeah, thank you very much, students. Yeah, thank you, Preetham. Thank you, Unati. Good evening. Thank you, Preetham. So, students, today we are going to do the financial analysis of this Rotomyne and Stategic. Now, students, this financial analysis is like a real life analysis, not theoretical financial analysis. Now, one thing, students, I have effectively considered the changes from 23 to 24, and I have effectively mentioned them here. So you don't worry about the calculation or arithmetical accuracy, but concentrate mostly on the industry-based analysis. Now, students, you see here the revenue growth is declining for both the organization. That is, Rotomyne also there's a decline, and Litgid also there's a decline. Now, students, let's just observe and see the industry trend so that it will be able to identify how it happens. Students, do you see there is a drop in the share price also? Can you observe that, students? Now, if you observe here, do you see, students, it's downward going? Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box? Yeah. Now, students, you have to think now, rationalizing thinking. Now, students, I'll just write down here. There is a fall in the industry revenue. In the industry revenue, because students, if you observe in this question, we only have 4 large organizations. The main reason can be the success rate of electric cars. Success rate of electric cars. Now, students, if electric cars success rate is less, do you think it will affect our business? Of course. Students, can I get a Y in the chat box? Now, example, if Tesla cars fail, lithium battery industry will get affected. That's clear now, students. Also, there can be situations where lithium alternatives can be found. Lithium, what, students? Alternatives can be found. Can be found as well. Students, can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students? Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box? Yeah, thank you very much, students. Now, the next thing, students, you have to also understand awareness of environmental issues and proper usage of battery. So now, students, example, can I say, example, Apple giving the adapters separately. Now, earlier they gave the adapters everything full. Now, even the mobile phone manufacturers are effectively making sure there is separately they are sold. Okay, are you clear with that perspective, students? Now, this is one thing that we have to keep in mind with regards to the demand and supply also. So, students, can I write down here ethical issues? Can I write down here ethical issues? Creating an artificial shortage. Creating an artificial shortage. Now, oil and gas industry, Saudi Arabia sometimes will do an artificial shortage to create a price hike. To create a price hike. Students, can this be a question on ethics? Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box? Can this be a question on ethics? Because students, can there be a situation you are deliberately creating a price and effectively you are joining the wolf gang situation and you are going for a price hike also. So that is also one more factor to be considered as well. And then, students, can I write down another point of view? Excess supply of lithium. This also can cause a fall in the revenue. Because if there is excess supply, also it's a fall in the revenue. And there is an impact to the demand also, there is a fall in the revenue. So the formula is very simple now. So can I get a double Y in the chat box, students, if you understand this perspective properly? If you understand this perspective properly, can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students? Thank you. Thank you very much, students. Okay, now students, I'll come down here for the operating cost. Now you see here, students, our operating cost is very high compared with lithic. The main reason is, students, we have two lithium mines in a developing country. So there are chances the efficiency level will be very less. And also, if you observe lithic, we don't have any idea about where they are lithium mines are. Because students, if you observe in this case study, they are only saying lithic is one of the and 10 lithium mines operating in 7 different countries, but they never told us which are the 7 different countries. Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students? Are you clear with that? But if you observe our situation, 7 is in developed countries and 2 are in political instability countries. So can I quickly get a confirmation if you understood that skeptical analytical point, because that is one important aspect that we have to keep in mind. So students, I'll write down here, this is mainly because we have two mines in developing country with political instability. In that case, we have many costs such as bribery, maybe can come, students, keep in mind bribery or other political related costs, and also costs relating to inefficiency, costs relating to what, students? Inefficiency, costs relating to inefficiency. So students, can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box if you understood that perspective? Now students, I'll just write down the other perspective also for your ideation. Now here 4.81, I'll just give you one observation I made. If you observe the property, plant and equipment, you see there is a minus. If the property, plant and equipment valuation is going really down, I'll just make a gray color section here. The property, plant and equipment is not as expected we are. But if you observe our competitor, that is Lithic, their property, plant and equipment is comparatively growing. So can I say one thing? Investment in new technologies. Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students? Because I think our competitors are investing in better technologies, and that better technologies are giving them the cost efficiency. Can that be a point there, students? Are you understanding that application with regards to the better technological applied thinking? Because that is very, very important. So can I write it down, students, so that it will be clear? On contrast, there are better investments by LitDig. We can what, students, observe, since it is effectively higher compared with Rotomyne. Compared with what, students? Compared with Rotomyne. Therefore, in that case, we have to make sure that 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 there are better technology. There are better what, students? Technology usage by the competitor. Usage by what, students? Competitor. Are you understanding that aspect, students? Any questions you like to ask? You can ask me properly, but are you clear with that point of view on the better technology aspect, students? On the better technology aspect, is that giving you a better clarity in that perspective? I hope so. Thank you. Thank you, students. Now let's operational cost. Now operational cost is both are having a negative decline. Again, understand decline. It's going down. I can effectively say mainly because of the industry trend. Because I told you the first point is the very, very important point. because the industry trend is going down. So in that case, I will just write down here, the operational profits are reducing. Operational profits are reducing due to trend issues. Due to trend issue, reducing due to trend issues. Due to trend issues. Now, students, I am going to mention one point here called the exam focus. What is the point I am going to mention in this case, students? Exam focus. Students, can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students? If you understand that perspective, exam focus, I'm going to tell you one thing. Now, our industry, it is going down. Can there be a situation, students, we are diversifying our business? Can there be a possibility of diversification on the exam day? That is, there is a fall in the industry of lithium. So we are going for another industry. Is that possible, students? It has come like that in the exam. Please be vigilant. Please be vigilant. There can be situations of diversification. Are you understanding that aspect, students? There can be a situation of diversification because industry trend is going down. Students, finance cost, there is no change since the loan amount is not paid or or borrowed further. You have not borrowed further or you have not repaid it back. Okay, students, are you getting that? Now, profit before tax expense, profit for the year, I can again merge it together and give you the point of view, students. It's all relating to the operational issues of the trend, students. That is the major reason all these things to go down. And the fixed interest rate, yeah, that is also correct. Now, students, property, plant, and equipment, as I told you, better investments by Lithgit, because this is something for us. Lithgit, since they have ensured an operational cost, they have ensured an operational cost savings. They have ensured what, students? An operational cost savings. Are you clear with that perspective there, students? There is an operational cost savings also for them. I hope that gives you a better clarity because that is one aspect. The goodwill, no changes. There is no acquisition or disposal of any I can say disposal of any subsidiaries. I think they may have subsidiaries, tiny subsidiaries, but there are no impact for this because nothing has happened. Intangible asset, students, 10.88 for our company and 6.63. So I'll write down here, the license may be updated for mining. Therefore, the intangible value will be higher. Intangible value will be higher. And also, students, can you remember one thing, that we have direct relationship with universities? The university arrangement. So can I write down here, students? The university arrangement. The university arrangement is also one factor to be considered as well. One factor to be considered as well. So are you clear with that, students? Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, because they have a university tie-up, everything. The beta is 1.63. The industry is high risk, students. High risk industry. The industry is exposed to high risk. That is very practical and very clear. Share price has gone to 28 and the lower range. So can I write down here high margin, high standard deviation? The standard deviation in this case is very high. Volatility is high, students. 28 to 3.75 means, students, there's a difference of 25, no, students. So I can say it's something around 25.25. So there is a volatility there. So can I write down in this case, students, there is something called a volatility. So any questions you like to ask, you can ask me, students. But are you clear with this aspect of writing, students? Any questions you like to ask, you can ask me, students. But are you clear with this perspective in this case? Any questions you like to ask me, you can ask me, students. But are you clear with this industry perspective? If I missed anything, you can let me know. So I'm going to the ratio analysis with your permission. Can I get a Y in the chat box, students? Can I go to the ratio analysis? Yeah, human capital, no, because it's a factory, no, students. Human capital, no. The reason behind that is we are just having standardized labors. So standardized labors may not contribute towards human capital, but in the research perspective, yes, but not for the extent like a knowledge-based software industries. More capital is needed. Now, students, if you observe in this case, you see the trend. Earlier, we are almost close competitors. Now, if you observe one thing, the prices are almost same or small difference. The reason behind that is, students, I'll write down here. Lithium has an active market. Lithium has an active market. Lithium has what market, students? An active market. Students, can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students? Lithium has an active market. So in that case, you can't go for a very big price like gold. Gold has an active market. So can I write down here example like gold? Example like gold. Gold market rate only. Now, students, one thing I have to understand, there is a global demand drop. Can I get a Y in the chat box, students? You can see, right? From 23 to 24, the revenue is falling down and the margins are also falling down, students. The ideation behind that is, students, international market. So I'll write down here, international market, international market, international market, demand falling. International market demand falling. This may have a direct impact to the company. Are you clear with that perspective, students? Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you are understanding this perspective in this case? I hope, yeah. Thank you, students. Now again, you see the profit before tax margin. Also, you see there is a slight deviation and the profit for the margin almost going the same. So I'll just write down here. The margins are almost the same. Since lithium is a general product, correct, no, students? A crude oil is crude oil only. You can't change crude oil, no, students. After that, you can add some value, but the government restriction, prices, everything will be there. Now, one thing, students, just came into my mind when I said the term government. Can I write down here something called price control? Can I write down some price control? Can the government impose price control imposed by the government? Imposed by the government. Can there be a situation like this? Price control imposed by the government. Can I get a Y in the chat box there, students? Can there be a price control by the government? Most probably yes. Most probably yes. Most probably yes. So I think that many students miss that point there. So coming down, students. Now you are very clear with all these aspects. Now you see the ROC, the return on capital employed, and also the ROI. You see here, students, there is an industry impact. It is affecting the ROC and the ROI. So students, can I write down a merged point here? The investment risk is higher, and the beta is higher. Now you have to remember this clearly. There is one question every time tested in the exam: financing option. Students who has done management case study, they will effectively write the MCS answer here. Here the financial option is more towards the longer term investment. The investment risk is higher and the beta is also higher. Therefore, in case of any fundraising, the challenges will be higher. I agree, no, students, you understand what I'm saying. Because if you have a more return, there will be a more demand for investment. But the returns are lower means, and the risk is also high. Understand it very well. risk, the beta is higher. You get that point, no, students? And students, the investment risk is higher. But if you observe in this case, investment returns are lower. Understand the investor's point of view. Returns are what, students? Returns are what, students? Lower. Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students? If you understand the risk is higher, the beta is also higher, but the investment risk is lower. So in this case, even the bank also will have an issue of giving a loan. Even we may have an issue of going through a rights issue also. So this will be the exam question. How you are going to handle a tough situation like this as a management on raising fund. So can I write down something called a management buyout, MBO? Because students for a long time in the examination, they did not test management buyout. And if you observe, our management is an educated management. So can there be a situation that the management putting in money and buying the stake? Corporate governance issues may be there, but still can there be a chance of a management buyout, students? Can I quickly get a Y in the chat box if you are able to a little bit connect it more strategically? Again, I am repeating, students, can I quickly get a Y in the chat box, students, if you can connect it more strategically, because that is what is needed in the examination also. The gearing ratio, students, frankly speaking, it's like a very challenging situation. I'll just give it for you all a color so you will understand. Honestly speaking, students, 50.95, 50.83 higher gearing ratio. Market industry statistic wise, our direct competitor is having a very lower ratio, right? Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students? Are you understanding the gearing functions that has been mentioned in this case? Thank you, Preetham. Thank you, Gamu. So in this case, students, again, there will be an issue with our gearing ratio. So I'll write down here, there is a serious issue. There is a serious issue with the gearing. Can I write down exam focus so that you will get the clarity? Exam focus, there can be situations where the company can be asked to repay the loan. So students, can I write down here, negotiation is important. Negotiation skill. What skill that's that, students? Negotiation, what, students? Skill. Students, can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you are getting the clarity there, students? Thank you. Thank you very much, students. Now, if you observe in this case, the interest cover ratio 5 times, and our competitor is also 11 times. So again, students, I can say we are currently having a financial risk. Financial risk. Industry risk is also there, students. Financial risk is also there. So can I please highlight these two, the financial risk component also, students, so that you will understand it even clearly, because this is something exam one question can come for sure. Current ratio and quick ratio, students, don't worry. I'll be very transparent here. They say 2:1 and they say 1:1. But the thing is, lithium mines, students, anyway, lithium mines have a scarce resource. So scarce resource can be sold immediately. Do you understand? Now, if you have a gold mine, this ratio statistic of 2:1, 1:1 doesn't matter. Yeah, because 2:1, 1:1 matters for slow moving inventory type, like a car business, like a brick business. Now, these are not slow moving, no, students. These are essential for manufacturing purposes. And also, students, these are fast moving also. Students, can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box if you understood the application between the fast moving and the slow moving elements, students? Are you getting that perspective? So I don't think this is an issue. Now, students, once again, we have to go in detail. You see the inventory days, they're maximum giving 2 months, but our competitor, they are following a different strategy. They are now currently giving more time for payments. So here there is a question, can there be a shift in the demand because of the credit terms? So can I write down here, can there be a shift in the demand? Shift in the demand due to credit terms. Due to what, students? credit terms. Are you understanding what I am meaning there, students? Are you getting that perspective there? Because earlier we went with the industry. They also 65, we also 66. Now they are giving more time, we are giving less time. Can I quickly get a why in the chat box, students? If you understood that challenge, it's like the game theory. One person giving more time, there can be a shift to the other person. Are you all clear with that? Any questions you like to ask me, you can ask me, students. But if you are fine with that, can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students? If you are fine with that, can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box there, students? I hope that is clear there. Thank you. Thank you very much, students. Now, students, recycling. Now, recycling is not a relevant thing. I think you have to read it properly. So, receivable days, students, you observe in this case, again, we are going with the industry terms only, industry terms. But here the inventory days are 90. So, credit terms, and I can also say, uh, students, I think I made a mistake here. Sorry. The perception here is inventory days. So 90 days is the inventory days, means it's nothing related to the credit terms. Here, credit terms are almost same. Receivable days only credit term. Inventory days, can I write down here? Why lit dig has more inventory days? More inventory days. Can I write down here quality issues? Can I write down here quality issues? Can there be quality issues with regards to purity? With regards to purity. Students, are you understanding that perspective? Because students, if you see here, inventories are going out of the warehouse within 60. For them, it's 90. So it's bad for Litkit, students. It's bad for Litkit. Can I get a Y in the chat box, students, quickly? If you understand, I'm sorry for that. But are you getting that perspective? 90 is not good for our competitor, but 60 is good for us. Are you all clear? Now, credit terms look similar. So I'll write in here credit terms looks almost similar, almost similar. Credit terms look almost similar. So we don't have any risk in that. But I think our competitors are only having a risk because of more inventory days. And I think there is an issue with their quality, internal process, logistical issues, supply chain issues. So can I write down here, students, supply chain issues? Because supply chain is another factor, no, students, that we have to consider. So supply chain issues also. Cash cycle is very clear, 97, 16, 120, 105. Payable days in this case, if you observe, students, 123 days, that is our suppliers are giving us more time. But only here, if you see, for Litgit, there's an issue. They take 120 days to collect cash, but the suppliers are asking within 116 days. So for 4 days, they have a working capital issue. They don't have money. So can I write down one thing, students? Working capital is managed efficiently. So I'll mention here, working capital is managed effectively, is managed effectively. We don't have any issues with that. A dividend payout, you see 89.48, the calculation was based like this. You take the dividend amount and you divide that by this amount, that is 2649. But if you observe our competitor, they are having a less dividend payout because of investments. So I'll write down here, Litdig has paid less dividends due to investments in property, plant and equipment, residual investment policy. But students, are you all clear with this? Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you are clear with these applications? So what I can effectively say is there's an industry risk we can effectively see. And our assets, one more thing, that we are a little bit backwards also. So can I write down one thing, students? I can just say here, fundraising issues. There can be situations of fundraising issues. Then, students, there can be situation with regards to investment in direct lithium, extractions. In direct lithium, what, students? Extractions. And students, international expansions. Then students, hedging can come into the picture. And then students, I can also say forwards, not hedging. And then the other one is students, we can effectively consider with regards to these things and international expansion, hedging, and also international borrowings also one thing to consider. But students, are you all fine with this? Any questions you like to ask me, you can ask me, students. But are you clear with what we have done? The analysis part is very important. Any questions you like to ask, you can ask me, students. You have the complete independence. Gamu, any questions for the day? Mr. Preetham, any questions for the day? Any questions for the day? And then students, the next person, Rahul, any questions for the day? Unnati, any questions for the day? If you have any questions, you can ask. If you have no questions, you can please put a Y in the chat box. But please understand, students, this is very important and essential for your thinking element. Are you all fine? So can I quickly get a Y in the chat box? Can I go forward so that it will be clear for your students? So this is how your mind should work in the exam. And effectively, students, this paper is very practical. And I hope that you understand it also. So I hope to see you on the next class, which will be on Sunday, where we will do the synthesis session. And from Wednesday onwards, I'll teach you on how to write mock papers. And then let's start practicing questions efficiently and effectively. Thank you very much, students, for your concern and your time. See you on the Sunday class. God bless everyone. Bye.